Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keiaradise. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, join the tribe, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Don't forget about TikTok. So, I put on a poll on my Instagram asking whether or not I should do a vintage haul video or talk about my top 5 favorite cities in the world. And if you already clicked on this video and you're watching this video, you know that my top 5 favorite cities in the world won. Okay, so this is a countdown going from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start. Oh, disclaimer. So I have done a lot of traveling, but I still haven't been to that many countries, right? I've only been to a few countries. So this is not the best cities in the world, period. This is the best cities that I have been to out of maybe like 10 or so countries. You know what I mean? Let's start with number 5. Number 5 is a surprise to me. Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised this is winning for me. Las Vegas. So I'm from San Francisco, and I have never been I have not been to very many places in the United States. Like, I've never been to New York, I've never been to DC. I have barely ever been to Los Angeles. I went there when I was a kid, at the year 2000. 21 years ago. My dad took us to Disneyland. Me, my mom, and my brother. 21 years ago. So, no, I have not gone to Los Angeles other than that. I've been to Miami. But Vegas. Now, what I love about Vegas is, like, Vegas is low-key happening, you know? It's happening. I mean, okay, I went there for New Year's Eve this year, 2021, and everything was kind of low-key closed, but still semi-open, but, like, so it wasn't really Vegas, but it still was a vibe, because I imagine Vegas to be, like, a bootleg casino town, like, really, like, bootleg, you know, gaudy, bootleggy. No. It was happening, okay? And it just seemed like there's always stuff, like on TikTok, you like one thing from Vegas, then you start getting more and more and more cool places to go in Vegas, and I'm like, wow. It's just kind of like, is gimmick a bad word? Okay, I don't know why I was imagining Vegas to be kind of like a Jersey Shore or something like that. I don't know why. I really had low expectations of it, but I was pleasantly surprised, okay? It just had everything, and then it's also still rather inexpensive. So it's up and coming, Las Vegas. Like, don't anyone tell you it's not. Yet the real estate is still pretty cheap. So I do plan on buying a house in Vegas, and yeah, that'll be awesome. And my cousin lives in Vegas, so I do want to frequent Vegas as often as I can, because it was a vibe. We didn't really go out that much because of COVID-19, but like, even the little things that we did, it was just like, all the hotels were nice. All the food was like presentation. You know, everything's bigger. Everything has to have like a little bit of like a gimmick to it. So I'm still trying to wonder if gimmick is a negative word, because I don't think it is, but I've only heard it used negatively. But I mean, like, it's got a theme. It's like, so number 4 of my top 5 favorite cities in the world thus far is Panama City. Panama City, Panama. You can click here to see, is it here or here? What? Click one of these to see my Panama City vlog. It was a vibe. Like, it really was a vibe. I never I've heard of Panama and Panama City, of course, but like, I've never heard of people being like, oh, we're going to Panama. Said no one. In all of my travels, you know, people go to Costa Rica, people go to Colombia, but never Panama. All I know about Panama is the Panama Canal. But who knew that this gem of a city exists in Panama? Like, I was so surprised. It was developed, super developed. I mean, like, skyscrapers and a good metro system. It reminded me of Shanghai. I was only there for one single night, and it was like romantic, you know. It felt romantic, like a Paris almost. Even though I've never been to Paris, but like, you know, that kind of like love is in the air. Like that's how I felt in Panama. I promise you, go to Panama, you will see what I'm talking about. And then it still has like a, you know, like a beach feel. It has like some kind of colonial architecture. It has a lot of like black people, black Panamanians. Okay, there was a lot of black people there. I was like, damn, it's all black people. What? Okay. Panama City. The food was fantastic. I only had one meal there. Oh, two. No, one. And it was like this huge plate of seafood, you know, and I was just kind of like, this is what we, and it was like at this food court, and that's kind of like my way of eating. I love food courts and stuff like that, and it just seemed like a chill place. Everyone I spoke to in Panama were like, oh yeah, you should come back to Panama. I'm like, yes, Panama City, yes. I would go there and stay for a little bit to see how it is to live there, but it was a vibe. It was a total vibe. Now, number three, Cape Town, South Africa. So I went there for the first time in 2015. Haven't been there since, but like, oh my God, Cape Town. Now, mind you, I was only there for like 2 or 3 days. And I, of course, like stayed on a certain side of Cape Town that doesn't really involve a lot of locals. So I'm not really talking about the whole Cape Town holistically, you know. I would want to go there again and see how the other side lives, you know what I mean? Like, you guys get what I'm saying. So like, I was in the part where it's mostly white South Africans and tourists and stuff like that. And I think at that time they had just had the World Cup in Cape Town, so they had these like new facilities. Anyway, it was a vibe. Like, they had this beautiful like waterfront where I had one of the best meals of my life. Okay, it was just eggs Benedict, but it was so good. It was like fresher than I've been looking for eggs Benedict like that I had in Cape Town ever since then. It's been like 7 or 8 years, and I'm like, oh my God, it was just so good. It's like, how do I explain it? I don't know. It was just like an unexpected, amazing meal. Unexpectedly, I wasn't expecting to be like, wow, this was the best food. You know, so but that's South Africa in general. Like, their produce and their water and it's all just pristine for sure. So Cape Town, I loved, like, what are the streets? It's like Kloof Street, Long Street, you know, I can't remember the other one, but it kind of reminded me of like New Orleans architecture. And then also it had this like really beautiful like hill, and I think that's kind of how they divide the haves and have-nots over that hill. But then you have like the beautiful, like, and I'm not a hiker. You guys know I'm not a hiker. And like, I hiked up Table Mountain and Lion's Head, and I mean, the most spectacular view you'll ever see in your life. Cape Town is really the place to go. If you go to South Africa, you have to go to Cape Town. Like, loved it. I didn't stay long enough. I would totally go back. Yes. So my number 2 favorite city in the world. Now, this was not an easy choice, because it was neck and neck with the number 1 pick. Neck and neck. But I'm going to tell you why this one wins, or this one got number 2. And that is Tokyo. Now, I love Tokyo. Oh my gosh, I love Tokyo. I've been there twice. And the food alone is just reason to just stay in Tokyo or to stay in Japan, because like, the best food ever, that's my favorite cuisine in the world, I think, so far. I mean, I haven't tried every cuisine in the world, but Japanese food just wins. And then when you live in Tokyo, like, you can go to 7-Eleven and have the best meal of your life. Seriously, so delicious. So the reason why it did not get the number 1 spot, because like, it's just so fun. Like, Tokyo has just things that only Tokyo would have, you know, like a hedgehog cafe. You know, I went to the hedgehog cafe. You can see my Tokyo vlog here. Yay! And it's just fun. Like, there's just, you know, and everyone's fashionable. Yes, like people in Tokyo, like you just, you know, it's a vibe. So the reason why it didn't get number one is because the metro is so hard to navigate. And two, I don't know what it's like to actually live there, how livable it is. And what I mean is I don't know how like the job opportunities are, nor like the rent situation. I've heard that Tokyo is just extremely expensive and like low-key unsustainable. So, you know, and that gets difficult, you know. So that it might still just be like a vacation spot, or like, you know, it's not, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm so open to living in Japan. So my plan one day soon is to spend 6 months in Japan, just going all over and eating everything. Okay, I'm eating. Oh yeah. Put on the plate. I'm eating. My number one favorite city in the world is, drumroll please, Shanghai, China. Shanghai beat Tokyo in my book because it is up and coming, or kind of, it's so like dynamic. And not to say Tokyo isn't, it is, but it's still inexpensive. I mean, it's expensive for like China standards, but like for international standards, it's not very expensive to live in Shanghai and to thrive in Shanghai. And it just has everything. And you know, I'm a big food person. Food. And I can tell you, when I lived in Shanghai, I had my designated spots for everything you can think of. Like, I would be like, oh, you want to have some pizza? Go to what was it called? Home Slice. Ooh, that pizza was good. Okay, you want a burger? Go to Beef and Liberty on Huaihai Zhonglu or something. I think, or Huaihai Nanlu, Shanxi Nanlu, whatever. Shanxi Nanlu. Go there, because that's the best. And I've been back in the United States for like 2 years, and I still have not had a burger as good as the burgers at Beef and Liberty. Okay, like they really do. You know, we had that one place where we would go get Korean barbecue, and it was like 100 RMB for all you can eat Korean barbecue at that one spot. I can't quite remember. I have to look at the map, but it was just like, oh, it was so safe and fast paced. Tokyo's also safe and fast paced too, but the metro is not confusing. The metro is not confusing in Shanghai like it was in Tokyo. And I don't know, it's just like there's a vibe to Shanghai. You know, if you want to get like, if you want to feel like you're in old China, you can go to like these beautiful water towns around Shanghai. It's like, there's one called Nanxiang. There's multiple. Just Google Shanghai water towns, and they just look like this old Chinese thing. And then if you want modern, you know, modern, you can go it's just so much. And it's like, oh, I miss Shanghai so much. It is just the place to be. I don't even know how it is now, because COVID-19 has ruined everything and everybody's all discombobulated. But I'm just saying, when I lived there, it was fabulous. And it was fabulous. Shanghai is my number one favorite city in the world thus far. I do want to make a similar video to this once every year when I start traveling to more places, because at this point, like, if you haven't noticed, there's no European cities on this list, because I've only been to Europe once, and that was in 2009 when I was 16 years old, and I don't think I really liked Italy. So yeah, and they didn't par over well with me, but going forward, I think I will keep updating this list. But so far, my 5 are Vegas, Panama City, Cape Town, Tokyo, Shanghai. So tell me in the comments below, what are your favorite cities in the world and why. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? And put on the notification bells because I'm putting out a new video every Monday and Thursday at noon Pacific Standard Time. So you want to always, be there, be square. And also I probably do a surprise video every now and then because I'm very eager to just make content, okay, for the YouTubes. So yeah. See you in the next video. Love y'all. Bye.